President Carter says Soviet leader Brezhnev will not hold up a SALT treaty because of the new U.S.-China relationship. Severe flooding hits Arizona following 3 days of heavy rain.
From ABC, this is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings in London, Max Robinson in Chicago, Barbara Walters, who is on assignment, and Tom Jarrell in Washington substituting for Frank Reynolds.
Good evening. Since the plan to establish full U.S.-Chinese diplomatic relations was first announced, there has been a major question mark. How will the Russians react? The answer has reached the White House, and Sam Donaldson has details. We apologize, we do not have that report from Sam Donaldson ready just yet, but Donaldson did report earlier over the telephone that there was a personal telephone communication between Soviet leader Brezhnev and President Carter. And in that telephone communication, Brezhnev said that he was not the slightest bit upset over the fact that the U.S. and the Chinese have decided to establish diplomatic relations. He also said that the Russians see no obstacle whatsoever to the successful conclusion of a SALT treaty between the United States and the Soviet Union because of the U.S.-China relationship. At the White House, the Chinese and the Russians have all expressed pleasure over the new Sino-American relationship, but some leading conservatives are still angry. Charles Gibson reports.
The president's announcement Friday on China was so surprising that anticipated political backlash has been slow to develop. Barry Goldwater was the first to react, announcing that lawsuit, attacking the constitutionality of canceling the Mutual Defense Treaty with Taiwan. And now other conservatives are joining in, hoping to make China the same kind of battleground as was Panama during the debate over the canal treaties. And if they can gear up for battle fast enough, conservative Robert Bauman thinks they can win, citing a poll of Congress taken last fall.
A vast majority of both bodies specifically said they opposed recognition if it meant abrogation of the treaty and withdrawal of recognition of Taiwan. We expect to receive strong co-sponsorship, even perhaps a majority in the House, and that ought to be a signal to the president that he is overstepping his bounds. This makes anything that Richard Nixon did look like peanuts, if you'll pardon the Washington expression, which is used quite often. This is an arrogant move on the part of the president around the backs of the Senate and the House of Representatives and saying that he has the power to act alone and to break a treaty, to tear it up.
Conservatives plan publicity and money-raising campaigns now to make their China case. Given time, they claim public reaction against the end of the defense treaty with Taiwan can be even stronger than it ever was against the Panama Canal treaties. Charles Gibson, ABC News, Capitol Hill.
The Coca-Cola Company announced today that beginning this January, Coke will have exclusive franchise rights to sell cola drinks in China. The firm last sold Cokes in China nearly 30 years ago. To reach the potential market of nearly 1 billion Chinese, Coke will build bottling plants in Shanghai and several other cities. Pan American World Airways says if the government gives the go-ahead, it is prepared to begin airline service between San Francisco and Peking beginning January 1st. And China today bought 3 long-range Boeing 747s and took options on 2 more in a $250 million deal, which could open the way for trans-Pacific commercial flights by the Chinese.
You know, last week I ate a few of those, drank a few of those, wrote a few of these, and a few hours later, indigestion.
Pepto-Bismol.
Relief.
Last Sunday, Mom filled my plate 3 times, gave me 2 desserts, and I got indigestion.
Pepto-Bismol.
Relief.
Pepto-Bismol coats, soothes, relieves.
Little Peggy!
Welcome to the family reunion!
Little Peggy!
Oh,